So we must take the last call very briefly, and it's from Malcolm Waller. Hello, Malcolm.
Hello, David.
If you could put your point fairly briefly, because we're running a little bit out of time.
Yeah, it's Paul Randall and Bristol Rovers trying to buy him back. You know, obviously they bought him from Glastonbury in the Western League. I think if they went down to these divisions, rather than saying they can't afford the fee now, I mean, I think knack for putting a ball in the net is something which players have either got or haven't got. I mean, every week at Ashton Gate we see people missing all these chances.
Yeah.
No, but, you know, I mean, when you see professional footballers with all the training, I'm sure with good coaches, you know, with some of the players, I mean, like the Ottery St twin strikers, there's Harold Hammond, sort of old-fashioned, bustling centre forward, and Ron Levitt is, you know, his sort of twin, you know, partner out there. I'm sure these people, I mean, Ron was on Target Against Appledore today. I mean, every week these people are scoring goals. I'm sure with a good coach.
I know, but Malcolm, it's a different class of football, isn't it? Let's be fair. You get the odd one coming out of Western League, and perhaps more than one, but they're pretty rare, you know. These clubs have got pretty good tabs on the local clubs around. I can't think.
I'm sure they went down, you know, watched these players.
Well, they do.
Yeah, but Paul Randall was playing for Glastonbury for years.
Yeah, I know, and he got picked up by Rovers.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure people like these. I mean, Harold, sort of, you know, I'm sure he scored goals at any level.
He was pretty young, Randall, when he was picked up. I know we've often heard this argument, and there may be players around who'd score goals, but it's a bit of a lottery. A lot of them wouldn't. You see, the best players around are taken into clubs very early. They're given their chances, then they play in combination football. If they do it there, they then get their chance in the first team. And players are so valuable who can score goals that a club would be daft if it let a player be playing in local football and didn't have a look at him, didn't try and bring him in, who's likely to do it for them, wouldn't they?
I'm sure, you know, scouting is not that extensive. They could, I mean, I'm sure I can say they missed these players, Harold and Ron, because, yeah, I mean...
Well, Harold and Ron, I'll tell you what, Harold who?
Hammond.
Harold Hammond, and Ron?
Levitt.
Levitt. OK, who do they play for?
Ottery St Mary.
Ottery St Mary. Right, I'll tell you what, I'll see the scouts personally of City and Rovers and see whether they've had these blokes watched. If they haven't, we'll get them down to see them. How's that?
Oh, that's fair enough.
OK.
Thanks very much, then.
Thank you, Malcolm. Thanks for coming on to Sports Lab. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for as far as our calls are concerned tonight, because we've got to have the classified football results, and it's James Alexander Gordon as usual. 38942. Roger Brigland is on the line. Hello, Roger.
Hello, David. Yes, just a change from football, actually. It's about boxing.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I was just saying, in view of some of the injuries received in the ring recently, obviously particularly Johnny Owen, I wonder whether the promoters who are making a lot of money out of the big fights, such as Don King, Harry Levine, Mickey Duff, could perhaps put aside some money, some sort of fund, for people like Johnny Owen, and, well, not just him, but also for lesser-known boxers who've sort of suffered injury in the ring. I know as a friend of our family, I don't know if a man called Paul the Cat Jenkins fought in a Welsh flyweight eliminator with Peter Chapman in the 60s, and he suffered pretty bad injuries, and he just about sort of holds down quite a menial job in the bank now, and a fund could have helped him do better.
Is there not a fund? I mean, there is an injured jockeys fund. Is there not an injured boxers fund? I mean, I must say that's something that I'm not sure about.
Well, he never received it. You know, he never received anything. Well, there was money, a sort of fund was set up for him, but you know, obviously there's more money in the game now, and you know, these promoters are making a lot of money. I think perhaps they could put aside something, really. I know there's been a collection for Johnny Owen and from his family, but you know, these fights are making big money, and people like Harry Levine that could set aside some sort of money for these people.
Roger, do you think that's enough? Would you be satisfied if a fund was set up for injured boxers? Do you think that the safety precautions are good enough for boxers? I mean, to me, it seems horrible to keep on hearing these stories of boxers being hurt and maimed and, you know, ruined for life.
Well, I would personally wouldn't stop. You know, I enjoy boxing. I wouldn't stop boxing. I think these fighters, you know what they're going in for. You know, just speaking about our friend Paul Jenkins, he did suffer bad injuries, and it's quite sad to see now. But they know the risks, and there is glory attached to it. Yeah. So you know, I wouldn't want to sort of stop boxing. But they sort of have some.
They know the risks, Roger, but are they fully aware of them? I have met a number of professional boxers over the years, and there are quite a lot of them who are a little bit punch drunk, aren't they? Their speech is a bit slurry. You know, they're a bit slower than they were. I'm quite certain that it does do damage to boxers. I mean, I enjoy a good fight as well as anybody else, but I'm beginning to get very worried about the situation that's happening. We're hearing of more boxers being injured badly, aren't we, in recent times?
Yeah, well, yes, it seems to get more injured at the moment. So, but I just think that the financial side really.
You're saying that a fund set up by the promoters who are making money out of these boxes would certainly at least go some way towards helping the situation.
Yes, yes.
Right, thanks very much indeed, Roger, for coming on with your point of view. And apart from anything else, it's nice to have a sport on the programme other than soccer. We all love soccer, but it's nice to have some other sports talked about as well. Perhaps you've got a view on a different kind of sport, but if it's only soccer...